at your phone. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna have a heckler in the front.
I do too. I do too. And I'm guessing maybe three.
Good.
I'll go down there and check it.
I passed on your message. I passed on your message. I thought it was a good point on your part. It's true. I've told him no less than 3 times the time limit. So, you know. Yeah. I've told him 3 times. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. They're harsh.
I need all the help I can get.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stand and join me in welcoming the 283rd Basic Training Class as they join me on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the colors of our great nation today are members of the Color Guard from the Salina Police Department. Please remain standing for the presentation of colors, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the greatest flag to ever fly. Color guard, post the colors. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Rob McClarty, Class Coordinator and Instructor of Police for the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the 283rd Basic Training Class. During your time here at KLETC, you have all walked past the Wall of Honor numerous times. The Wall of Honor is a reminder of the ultimate sacrifice paid by each of the KLETC graduates who are memorialized there. At this time, we'll have a moment of silence to honor those 27 KLETC graduates who have given their life in the line of duty. Please join me. Thank you. Members of the 283rd, I appreciate each and every one of you and all of your efforts while you've been here at KLETC. I hope you understand what an honor it has been to be one of your instructors and your class coordinator. Hopefully, throughout your time here, the other instructors and I have each been able to impart and pass on some insight and information, not only from the curriculum, but from our education, our experiences, and our careers that will benefit each of you and yours. In the beginning of your time here at KLETC, you likely arrived and were in some fashion, at least a little bit out of your comfort zone, forced into a unique environment with unknown experiences and challenges that laid ahead for each of you. It's my hope that through those experiences and challenges, you have truly come to respect and actually appreciate your time here at KLETC. The training and experiences and the knowledge that you have gained while here is priceless and will in some form help each of you be successful in your careers and this profession. On behalf of the KLETC administration, instructional staff, and support staff, we congratulate you for completing your basic training. It's a KLETC tradition for the class president to deliver a few brief remarks on behalf of the graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, the 283rd Basic Training Class President, Deputy Justin Hawks of the Dickinson County Sheriff's Office.
Family, friends, esteemed guests, sheriffs and chiefs of police, I would like to thank you for attending the graduation of the 283rd Basic Class of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Academy. I would like to extend a special thank you, a token of our gratitude toward the staff here at KLETC. Without the long hours you spent with us, ensuring you gave the best possible training to help us succeed, I doubt we would have made it through these long months. We began this journey on June 21st, multiple strangers from multiple different agencies across Kansas. I still remember the first day. We all gathered in classroom 1, some of us knowing a person from our department, but many of us meeting someone new for the first time. It was intimidating to get to know a bunch of new officers and deputies. However, we all pulled together sooner than I thought. Before long, we were like a family. The awkwardness left the air and was replaced with laughter and motivation for all. Each person seated here before you chose a profession that not everyone can do. Every day they will wear a shield or a star that represents their commitment to the community to which they serve. Every day they will leave their house telling their loved ones goodbye, knowing that they have the possibility of interacting with the worst of society. Every day they do this because they chose to take the oath, the stand, to ensure their communities, their families, their friends were better than the day before. We have learned in our long but short time here that our oath is not to be taken lightly. We have learned the meaning behind our ethics and the symbolism that it stands for. We have learned that our journey before us will be a long one, filled with moments of sorrow and pain. But we've also learned that the good will come with it as well. Not every moment of our careers will be mournful, but rather we have a real chance to impact the world around us. We have learned who we are as a people and as a collective. I sat here day after day knowing that the men and women before you are the best suited for the job, knowing that the 283rd class was filled with the best there is to offer, and quite frankly, nothing can make me more proud than to be up here speaking on their behalf. In today's world, law enforcement is not one of the most sought after professions, yet it is one of the most noble. The officers beside me prove that is the truth. They strive to treat each member of their community as if they were their own. The officers beside me strive to be the diplomats for the people. When diplomacy fails, they are the ones that will act within the best interest. I now ask you to direct your attention not at me, but at my fellow law enforcement officers seated beside me. The ones who answered the call, the ones who left their families behind to be here training to become the best they can within their communities. The ones who gave up special moments and times with their spouses and children, while I quote a police officer's prayer. Lord, I ask for courage, courage to face and conquer my fears, courage to take me where others will not go. I ask for strength, strength of body to protect others and strength of spirit to lead others. I ask for dedication, dedication to my job, to do it well, dedication to my community, to keep it safe. Give me, Lord, concern for those who trust me and compassion for those who need me. And please, Lord, through it all, be at my side. In conclusion, I want to leave each of my classmates with this thought. Never forget those who came before you. Never forget why you're here. Never forget your families, for they're the wind at our backs. Never forget your fellow officers, for the bond you build will last a lifetime. And please never forget why you wear the badge every day. For the families, I want to thank you. Thank you for supporting us during this time. Thank you for holding down the everyday life that you were used to with us while we were away. Thank you for being the channel that empowered us to become what you see before you. Thank you for the love and encouragement you offered during the 14 weeks and the years to come. Thank you to our friends and families for coming. I present to you the 283rd Basic Class.
You're good. You're good. Justin, it's my pleasure to present on behalf of the administration and staff to present you with this plaque as an appreciation and recognition of you being the 283rd Basic Training Class President. It's my hope you'll display it proudly. Congratulations for all your efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, every class that comes through here has a legacy project that they have to present. We chose to leave our mark here in KLETC for every officer to come after us. We had a badge constructed out of wood that was cut out with a picture of one of our officers with community members surrounded by the blue line, symbolizing the protection that we offer to our communities. Within this plaque, we had 5 things that we believe every officer should think about before they leave their house. We should always ask ourselves, are you mentally prepared for work that day? Are you emotionally prepared for work that day? Are you physically prepared for work that day? Did you check your equipment prior to leaving? And do you remember your law enforcement ethics? That plaque will be displayed on the campus for all the years to come. And that is what we chose as our legacy project.
$283 from all of us here at KLETC. We thank you for your thoughtful donation. We'll display it as a reminder for future student officers to see. Thank you. KLETC recognizes student officers who excel in academics by placing them on the Director's Honor Roll. It's a substantial accomplishment. Throughout the 14 weeks of basic training here at KLETC, each officer is required to take academic tests and competency evaluations for their skills to show the retention of the material that has been presented to them. Any student who maintains a 94% or higher becomes eligible to be recognized as a member of the Director's Honor Roll. Today, we have one officer who has achieved this goal. Officer Atticus Patterson of the Salina Police Department. Please stand to join me at the podium. On behalf of the instructors and the staff of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center, it's my privilege to announce Officer Atticus Patterson being recognized for the Director's Honor Roll and the recipient of the Larry Welch Award of Academic Excellence for the 283rd Basic Training Class. Please join me in recognizing Officer Patterson for his efforts. At KLETC, we also recognize those student officers who have excelled in various professional skill sets during their basic training. For the 283rd, we'll start with fitness. Fitness being a key component in an officer's life. It helps them deal with the daily stresses they'll face and aids them in maintaining a healthier lifestyle, enabling them to better mitigate the dangers that they may encounter. During their time here at KLETC, all the members of the 283 were active and engaged in a fitness routine. However, one student officer met the goals of the 200-mile club and will be the recipient of the fitness award. For a student officer to be recognized as a member of the 200-mile club, the officer must have completed 30 push-ups in a minute, 30 sit-ups in a minute, run a mile and a half in 18 minutes or less, and additionally, they have to log 200 miles or more outside of their normal classroom activities and the normal fitness routine. During the 200-mile club challenge, Officer Tricia Hulsman completed an impressive 216 miles, along with exceeding the other physical requirements of the 200-mile challenge. Please stand and join me at the podium. This is truly quite an undertaking and demands our recognition. Please join me in recognizing Officer Tricia Hulsman one more time. Next is the Firearms Top Shot Award. It recognizes the student officer from the 283 basic training class for their firearms proficiency. We had a unique situation, a very unique situation, in evaluating the top shot for the 283. I'm going to ask 3 officers to please stand. Would Officer Cutter Brazel of the Winfield Police Department, Deputy Aaron Cockrell of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, and Isaiah Grogan of the Salina Police Department to please stand. All 3 of these officers did an outstanding job on the range. All 3 tied on their firearms qualification, again tied on several of the scored tactical courses and shooting drills. All 3 did an amazing job. I'd like you to recognize these 3 officers for their efforts. However, one officer set himself apart with standards drills times and the night shoot, and there can only be one top shot. I would like Officer Carr of the Winfield Police Department to please join me at the podium. Officer Brazel had shown great skill and proficiency during the firearms qualification. Shooting is a perishable skill and truly requires constant effort to maintain abilities. Gutter, you've shown how practice and effort truly pays off. Well done. Well done. It's now truly my pleasure to introduce to you today's commencement speaker, Sheriff Bill Carr from the Ford County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Carr is a strong supporter of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center, a legislative advocate for law enforcement issues, and currently serves as the second vice president for the Kansas Sheriff's Association. Sheriff Carr has co-authored legislation and provided testimony before both the House and Senate Judiciary Committees here in Kansas. Sheriff Carr has served as Ford County for over 30 years, beginning his career with Ford County Sheriff's Office in 1990. Sheriff Carr began in the VIN inspection program, and a short period of time later, he moved to the Civil Process Division, where he served as a supervisor for over 12 years. He went on to serve in the Patrol Division, achieving the rank of Patrol Sergeant. In 2015, he was appointed to fulfill the unexpired term of sheriff, and subsequently has been elected by his community to serve in that position, which he holds today. Sheriff Carr holds a Bachelor of Science degree from Central Christian College of Kansas and is a graduate of the 112th National Sheriff's Institute. Outside of his normal law enforcement duties, Bill is very active, providing his expertise on several state and local boards, to include being a founding and active member of the Ford County Suicide Prevention Coalition, a member of the Ford County First Responders Mental Health Committee, a board member for Compass Behavioral Health. He sits on the Kansas Criminal Justice Reform Commission, the USD 459 Buckland Schools Safety Committee, and USD 443 Dodge City Public Schools Law Enforcement Advisory Committee. In his spare time, he enjoys spending time with his wife, Tiffany, of 28 years, and their dog, Duke. And occasionally, when time allows, he enjoys catching an area sporting event. It's my honor to introduce to you Sheriff Bill Carr as the 283rd Basic Training Graduation Commencement Speaker. Sheriff Carr.
Keep fogging up. Thank you. So they've limited my time. Those of you in the room who know me, I can speak forever. So I'm going to try to hold it brief here for you and get you out of here as soon as possible. So greetings to the class of the 283rd class of Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. Greetings to the esteemed colleagues and all friends and family members who've gathered here to enjoy the today of special occasion for these members. It's an honor. Got a lot to be proud of, what you have sitting in front of you. It's a great honor and pleasure to join you in the graduation ceremony. No doubt the training you've received over the last several months prepared you for a career you're about to embark upon. I'd like to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for choosing the career field. You're beginning an exciting and honorable journey, not just a job. Your decision to pursue this profession, I'm sure, was made after much contemplation. Whether you grew up wanting to be a law enforcement officer, have decided to carry on a family tradition, or seeking adventure and excitement, or just looking at it as a place to serve, the profession is more than a career. It is a calling. I still remember the day I graduated from KLETC and took the oath to serve. I remind myself on a daily basis of the responsibilities that come with it. Former President Ronald Reagan stated, "Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid." I tell you this to remind you that although you will face challenges throughout your career, it is also important that you remain steadfast in your resolve. You're joining a brotherhood of fellow law enforcement professionals who are passionate about the helping others. In 1892, Sir Robert Peel established the London Metropolitan Police Force. For this, he is referred to as the father of modern policing. He, along with his commissioners, produced a list of nine principles with 3 core ideas. Because these principles are as valid today as when they were written 2 centuries ago, I'd like to take the opportunity to briefly review them with you. First, to prevent crime and disorder as an alternative to the repression by military force and severity of legal punishment. Second, to recognize always that the power of the police to fulfill their functions and duties is dependent on public approval of their existence, actions, and behavior, and on their ability to secure and maintain public respect. Third, to always recognize that to secure and maintain the respect and approval of the public means also the securing of the willing cooperation of the public in the task of securing observance of laws. Fourth, to recognize always that the extent to which the cooperation of the public can be secured diminishes proportionately the necessity of the use of physical force and compulsion for achieving police objectives. And fifth, to seek and preserve public favor, not by pandering to public opinion, but by constantly demonstrating absolute impartial service to law, in complete independence of policy and without regard to the justice or injustice of the substance of individual laws, by ready offering of individual service and friendship to all members of the public without regard to their wealth or social standing, by ready exercise of courtesy and friendly good humor, and by ready offering of individual sacrifice in protecting and preserving life. Sixth, to use physical force only when the exercise of persuasion, advice, and warning is found to be insufficient to obtain public cooperation to an extent necessary to secure observance of law or to restore order, and to use only the minimum degree of physical force which is necessary on any occasion for achieving a police objective. Seventh, to always maintain a relationship with the public that gives reality to the historic tradition that the police are the public and that the public are the police. The police being only members of the public who are paid to give full-time attention to duties which are incumbent on every citizen in the interest of community welfare and existence. Eighth, to always recognize the need for strict adherence to police executive functions, and to refrain from even seeming to usurp the powers of the judiciary of avenging individuals or the state, and of authoritatively judging guilt and punishment the guilty. And ninth, to recognize always that the test of police efficiency is the absence of crime and disorder, and not the visible evidence of police actions dealing with them. Sir Robert Peel was a firm believer in preventative policing, as the goal of law enforcement has always been the prevention of crime, not catching criminals. The key to preventing crime is earning public support. For this to happen, every community member must share the responsibility of preventing crime. However, this will only happen if the community supports and trusts law enforcement. Law enforcement can earn public support by respecting community principles. Winning public approval takes hard work to build credible reputations. Enforcing the laws impartially, hiring officers who represent and understand the community, and use force only as a last resort. Stress and pressures of the job. It can sometimes take a full toll on not only us, but our families. For this reason, I encourage you to build a healthy support system. Fellow officers, friends, family, coworkers, people you can turn to in your time of need. Don't hold it in. Each of you will make a positive impact on people's lives. This will start with a simple smile, a wave, a conversation, just simply showing that you care. Be the officer that the young generations will look at you and say, I want to be just like you. Be sure to take time and listen. Be compassionate and caring. Just remember, you're a human as well. Please take your oath seriously. Be well and stay safe out there. While our citizens rest in peace, knowing they have brave and gallant officers watching over them 24/7, 365. Undoubtedly, these are difficult times we live and work in, but I pray that you keep your heads up and on a swivel while performing your duties as newly sworn officers. Don't let your guard down. Be aware of your surroundings and have the winning mindset that you will go home at the end of your shift. Again, I want to congratulate you and your families, and I wish you the very best. May God look over you and protect you in your ventures of newly sworn law enforcement officers of the state of Kansas. Thank you.
Sheriff, it's my honor to present this plaque to you. I hope you'll display it proudly. It commemorates you being the commencement speaker for the 283rd basic training class. Today's date.
Thank you.
Thank you. As you all know, here at KLETC, ethics are at the forefront of the training and of our profession. Sheriff Carr just mentioned it. The law enforcement oath of ethics is a constant reminder of the importance of always doing the right thing. Throughout your time here at KLETC, we have discussed this in depth. The ultimate purpose of law enforcement is public service. When law enforcement officer takes the oath of office, they assume great responsibilities. They have entered the position of being a role model, where they must always lead by example. They become members of the law enforcement and protectors of our community. Because the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center believes the concepts and principles within the oath should be a dominating force in all officers' lives, I'll ask Class President, Officer Justin Hawks, to lead the class with the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics affirmation.
On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution of the United States, the state of Kansas, my community, and the agency I serve. Right on.
283, please be seated. In a few moments, I'll be presenting each one of you with a challenge coin, a coin similar to the one in my hand. Coin is something very few people know about. But for those of you who do, these coins are very symbolic, very meaningful. They're given to someone as a reminder of them or to confirm membership in an organization or group. In this case, these coins are recognizing you as a graduate of KLETC. I'll ask you to carry it with you as a reminder of the time when you were here, the lessons you've learned, and the friendships you've all gained. On the back of this coin is the oath that each of you just affirmed. In carrying it with you, let it be a constant reminder to always do the right thing. Graduates, congratulations. It's truly been my honor and my pleasure to be a small part of your journey, more especially to be your class dad. I wish you nothing but success in your continued safety each and every day. And I wish you happiness in all that you do. I'll now introduce you to KLETC's Associate Director, Alvin Sowers. Mr. Sowers will be presenting the members of the 283rd with their certificates, and I will be presenting each one with their KLETC challenge coin. The class president, Justin Hawks will now announce the names of the graduates of the 283rd Basic Training Class.
Front row, please stand. Ashlyn Anderson of the Parsons Police Department. Cutter Brazel of the Winfield Police Department. Aaron Cockrell of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. Darian Dilka of the Gove County Sheriff's Office. Allison Fox of the Lacine Police Department. Madison Gardner of the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Isaiah Grogan of the Salina Police Department. Front row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Second row, please stand. Caden Hammer of the University of Kansas Police Department. Sean Hansen of the Ellsworth County Sheriff's Office. Eric Heap of the Prairie Band Potawatomi Tribal Police. Courtney Hobbs of the Leavenworth Police Department. Trisha Hulsman of the Garden Plain Police Department. Louise Marquez of the Ford County Sheriff's Office. Atticus Patterson of the Salina Police Department. Christopher Perkins of the Osawatomie Police Department. Nicholas Reed of the Great Bend Police Department. Second row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Third row, please stand. Grant Reinking of the Ottawa Police Department. Tyson Ridenauer of the Newton Police Department. Colin Rose of the Hayes Police Department. Corey Sager of the Oakley Police Department. Corey Thomas of Bonner Springs Police Department. Alexandria Tippy of the Pittsburgh Police Department. Jimmy Wallace of the Dickinson County Sheriff's Office. Blair Whaley of the University of Kansas Police Department. Steven Zabata of the Riley County Police Department.
Justin Hawks of the Dickinson County Sheriff's Department. Third row, would you please return to your seats? And please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our graduation ceremony today, and I thank each and every one of you for attending today's graduation. And thank you to all the department members and administrators that have come to support the graduates today. We really, really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 283rd, and I will certify them if they would please stand. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I haven't certified them yet. So you get another round here in just a minute. So on behalf of Director Beck, I hereby certify that each and every one of you have hereby completed the requirements to be basic law enforcement officers in Kansas. And the words they've been waiting for 14 weeks, class dismissed.